Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Sera, and I'm sitting here with Liam. Liam, how are you feeling today?
Honestly, a bit slow to start. I had one of those mornings where the bed felt a little too comfortable and the to-do list felt a little too long. You know those days?
Oh, I know them well. It's that heavy feeling where even deciding what to have for breakfast feels like a major life decision.
Exactly. And it got me thinking about how we talk about our daily life. We usually describe it as a series of tasks, right? Work, gym, groceries, sleep. But lately, I've been wondering if we're missing the actual life part of the daily life.
That's a big thought for a slow morning. What do you mean by that? Are we just moving through the motions?
I think so. We talk about getting through the day or surviving the week. It's like we're treating our time as an obstacle to overcome rather than something we're actually inhabiting.
I love that word, inhabiting. Because here's the thing, by the end of this conversation, you're going to learn how to talk about your daily life in a way that makes you feel empowered instead of exhausted. You'll learn phrases that give you agency instead of making you sound like a victim of your own schedule. And honestly, it might even change how you feel about your day-to-day life.
Because when we talk about our routines, it often sounds like a script we didn't write. I have to do this, then I have to do that. It lacks a sense of personal choice, doesn't it?
Exactly. And for our listeners, especially those navigating life in a second or third language, the way we talk about our day-to-day can either make us feel like a robot or make us feel like a person who is actually growing.
So today, we're going to explore the tiny shifts in language that can completely transform how you experience your daily life. Let's dive in.
So let's start with the word everyone uses, busy. It's the default answer to, how are you? But Liam, what's wrong with being busy?
Nothing's wrong with being busy itself. But I've been trying to catch myself when I say, I'm just so busy. It's almost like a badge of honor we wear, but it actually disconnects us from the people we're talking to. It shuts down the conversation.
It really does. If I ask you how you are and you say, busy, there's nowhere for me to go with that. But if you say, I've had a lot on my plate, but I'm making progress, suddenly there's a human element there. There's a bit of struggle, but also some momentum.
A lot on my plate. I use that one constantly. It's such a grounded way to describe that feeling of being overwhelmed without sounding like a victim of your own schedule.
And that's the thing about daily life. It's mostly made of these tiny, repetitive moments. If we don't find a way to talk about them with a bit of color or honesty, we just end up feeling, I don't know, gray?
Gray is a perfect word for it. I was talking to a friend yesterday who's moving through a really big career change, and she said something that stuck with me. She said, I'm trying to find the rhythm in the chaos.
Oh, that's beautiful. Finding the rhythm.
It changed the whole energy of the conversation. She wasn't just complaining about being stressed. She was acknowledging that life is messy right now, but she's looking for the beat. She's looking for the way to move through it.
Do you think we're afraid to be that honest in our daily conversations? Like, if someone asks, how's it going? We feel obligated to say, good, or fine, because we don't want to bring the mood down.
Definitely. We have this social filter where we think being positive means being perfect. But being mindful in our English and in our lives is actually about being more accurate, isn't it?
Exactly. Accuracy over perfection. If I'm having a rough day, saying, it's been a bit of a climb today, is much more honest than, I'm fine. And ironically, it's more encouraging to the other person because it gives them permission to be human too.
It's been a bit of a climb. I'm stealing that. It implies that you're moving upward, even if it's difficult. It's not a flat line.
Exactly. It's about movement. I think that's a huge part of self-improvement that people miss. It's not about reaching the top of the mountain and staying there. It's about how you talk to yourself while you're still in the middle of the hike.
And the middle of the hike is where we spend 99% of our lives.
Right. We spend so much time waiting for the big moments, the promotion, the vacation, the finished project, that we treat the daily stuff like it's just noise. But the daily stuff is the music.
So how do we change that? If someone is listening and they feel like their daily life is a bit stagnant, how do they start talking about it differently?
I think it starts with noticing the small wins. We're so good at noticing the small failures, right? We notice when we're 5 minutes late or when we forgot to buy milk, but we rarely narrate the small successes.
Give me an example. What's a small success narration?
Well, instead of saying, I finally finished that report, which sounds like a relief from a burden, you could say, I'm really glad I pushed through that report this morning.
Ah, I see. You're highlighting your own effort. I pushed through.
Exactly. You're acknowledging your own agency. You did the pushing. It didn't just happen to you. It's a subtle shift from being a passive observer of your life to being the driver.
I love that. It's like when we talk about our habits. Instead of saying, I have to go to the gym, saying, I'm making time for a workout.
Making time. That is such a powerful phrase. Because we all have the same 24 hours. When you say you're making time, you're taking personal responsibility for your priorities. You're saying, this matters to me.
It's funny how these tiny changes in how we phrase things can change how we actually feel about the task. Making time feels like a gift to myself. Having to go feels like a debt I'm paying.
Right. And when we communicate that to others, they feel that energy too. Imagine telling a colleague, I'm making time to read more this month, versus, I'm trying to read more, but I'm so busy. The first one sounds like a person with a plan. The second one sounds like a person with an excuse.
And we all have excuses. They're so easy to find. But they're also very lonely.
What do you mean by lonely?
Well, when we live in our excuses, we're stuck in our own heads. But when we talk about our growth, even the slow, messy kind, we invite people in. We connect.
That's so true. I think that's why I love the phrase, work in progress.
Yeah, it's a classic for a reason.
It really is. If I say, my morning routine is a work in progress, it's an invitation. It says, I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm trying. It's humble, but it's also proactive. It shows that I'm not standing still.
It's much better than saying, I'm bad at mornings.
Exactly. I'm bad at mornings is a death sentence. It's a label you've put on yourself that doesn't allow for change. My mornings are a work in progress is a story that's still being written.
And I think that's the key, isn't it? A story that's still being written. That means there's more to come. It means you haven't closed the book on yourself yet.
Exactly. And we have so much more to explore on this topic. We've only scratched the surface today. Comfort zones, presence, the language of growth. We're going to dig into all of that in part 2.
So if this conversation has already made you think a little differently about your daily life, make sure you don't miss the next one. Part 2 picks up right where we're leaving off.
And before you go, drop a comment and tell us, what's one phrase from today that stuck with you? A lot on my plate? Making time? A work in progress? We'd love to know which one felt most true for you right now.
And if someone in your life could use a little shift in perspective today, share this episode with them. Sometimes all it takes is one new way of saying something.
We'll see you in part 2. Take care of yourselves.
Bye, everyone.
Right on schedule. All aboard. Off you go.